Ellie Black is your first time ever historic double Commonwealth Games all-around champion. We have a mini commission on which college gymnastics team your favorite international elite should join. Plus big news out of World Gymnastics, formerly known as the FIG. And we'll catch you up on all the Gymternet news. Welcome to GymCastic, the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. I'm Jessica. I'm here with Spencer from the Balance Beam Situation. Want to tell you our schedule first for next week because championships, U.S. championships are coming up. The Elite National Championships are going to be in Phoenix. We will both be there. So we're going to have our live extended podcast after podium training, after women's day 1, after men's day 2, and on Sunday, you guys, which is after women's finals, we're going to have a live show in Phoenix. You can walk boop, boop, boop right across the street, and we'll have our live show there.
Is that how you walk? That's the sound of walking? Okay.
It's exactly, because I imagine always people as Lego characters from my favorite Lego.
Yeah.
I've been playing too much Lego Batman lately. And so finals are on Sunday. It'll be around 6 p.m. So 5:30, 6 p.m. And make sure you are registered for our newsletter. If you're a Club Gym Nerd member, that you're all signed up and have the right email so you can get, we'll let you know when live show tickets are on sale because you guys get a discount, of course. And so we're very excited for that. So that's the program for next week. All right, so let's get to the headlines first. I want to talk about, there's an injury that went very viral, which is not unusual for gymnastics, I guess, but I was kind of surprised. Gabriel Langton, who's on the English team, had a fall on high bar, not a hard skill, nothing crazy, something that he said he's been doing this, he's done the skill 1,000 times. It was really weird because he knew his hand slipped. He knew he was falling head first. And it's like when you're falling head first and then you're like, there's a second where you're like, oh, should I arch and land on my stomach or should I tuck? And it's like he started to arch, was like, oh, I'm going to land on my stomach, but then realized it was too late. And by the time he tried to tuck, he was already on his head. So he landed like on his shoulder and his head, but it was a thunk. Like he landed hard. And then the scariest part was that he didn't move after he landed. Listening to the interview with him that the BBC did was helpful that he was like, okay, I knew I could feel everything. I could move like my fingers and my toes. So I knew it was okay. I was just really worried. Was I going to be able to go back to gymnastics? So that tells you his mindset,
yeah, every athlete.
Yes, exactly. Like what I did appreciate that the staff who went up were careful with him, didn't move him, didn't try to, like we've seen at other meets. I'll never forget that in 2011 in Japan, that a gymnast tripped and went head first into the base of the vault. And her coaches just picked her up and moved her. And I was like, you could have just broken her necks, you absolute idiots. Or the time the Irish gymnast, she fell on her head in Rio Olympics, I think it was, remember? And her coaches patted her on top of the head afterwards. And she ended up having multiple. Anyway, I'm glad it wasn't worse. He is clear, no major injuries. So glad that he's okay. The other major news.
Tell me.
The effectively the vice president, the second in command at the FIG, now called World Gymnastics, is gone. Buompane.
Okay.
Does this surprise you, Spencer?
So he's the Secretary General, and my first question, of course, was like, wait, what does that do? What's that job? What does that mean?
Vice president.
Vice president.
Assistant principal.
Closely in charge.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, no, he's been there for a while, correct?
Been there for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I don't read anything more into it other than people change. People come in and out of jobs, executive positions. That's kind of the way things go. What are you reading into it? Because you're giving me the eyebrows right now, and I feel like I'm not reading enough into it.
No, Spencer, this is the most important part. So,
okay, read in. Go.
Remember
take those lines, spread them apart, and read in between them for me.
So he resigned what is he was the one that in a rare move, because nothing ever leaks out of the FIG. If something leaks out of the FIG, it is very bad and the staff is revolting. That they were in a meeting and they were talking about something with men's gymnastics, and he said, well, or men's, one of the men's sports, and he's like, well, we don't want it to be gay. And use that as a slur, as if dance or whatever they were going to wear was going to make it gay. And that was shocking to the staff, as it should be to anyone, as if gay is ever a
to
negative.
all the gay members of the staff, because we are taking over.
And so then, that information was leaked to the press and that got out, and he still didn't resign. So and this again is, he's the one that also gave the very impassioned speech about security when I asked him at the Jakarta World Championships about Israel not being given visas to come to the competition and compete. And he sort of like, gave a long speech, which you can see on our YouTube channel, about security, and all the security is important. And we need to look at this everywhere and look at what just happened and name some other sports. And I was like, yeah, but you were supposed to have a guarantee that Israel could come here to have I'm surprised this happened, because I thought he would not leave. So I don't know. I feel like this is a positive, but I'm also a little worried about at the FIG because things seem to be not great there. Just in terms of staff, and the staff has always been consistent and reliable, and but maybe it'll be better now that he's resigned. Yeah. It took a while, but he's out. So can we gush about Ellie Black for a minute?
I mean, we have, it was not the first time, so I think, we definitely can. She won. She won the Commonwealth Games all-around title again. 2018 champion.
Never been.
2022, Georgia Godwin won the all-around.
There's never been a two-time
Ellie
champion.
Black,
Never in the history.
It's in. Longevity's in.
That's right.
Short 1 Olympic cycle careers are out. That's passé. 5 Olympic cycle careers are what's in.
That is the way to go. She is the first double all-around champion in the history of the Commonwealth Games, because when it was called the British Empire Games, they didn't have gymnastics.
It was a little on the nose.
Yeah, it was too. So now she's in. Do you know who the first Commonwealth Games women's gymnastics champion was?
Oh, I actually do. I do have this information.
Oh, tell me.
But you can say it if you would like.
No, go ahead. Tell the people.
Oh, it's one Elfie Schlegel.
Elfie Schlegel, longtime
Canadian
NBC commentator.
Then became more famous for her commentary.
Yes. Stella Ume has won. Kate Richardson. Many great Canadians have been in these shoes. So our hats off to her. I just want to talk about Ellie Black's floor for a little while.
Please do. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say that I'm giving her the award for the best use of horror movie violins in a floor routine.
Whoa, that's prestigious.
It is.
In our world, that's like one of the top 5 categories.
It is. There aren't many spooky floor routines, but the ones that there are some of our very favorites. I love that she did that, like, when a witch hits you with a spell of like power light ball in your stomach and you jump backwards like it hit you. The use of this stunt woman witch jump, effortless, perfect. I saw the ball of light in her stomach as she moved backwards. It was perfection. Also, the music, you cannot underestimate the use of the single violin string pluck of terror as a mechanism of art in a floor routine. I love this. It was so different. She does it so well. It's just excellent. Absolutely excellent. We appreciate.
Very much.
And then at the bars final, she won the silver.
She did. So it's almost like she has all-around strengths.
She's good
and
at
is an
all the
all-around
things.
champion. She can win medals on all the events. Yeah.
Canada. So stoked for her. So yeah. Okay, should we talk about the Commonwealth Games in general? All the other
Yeah.
things that happened. Okay.
So as we record this, still in progress. So, by the time you hear this, probably the women's beam and floor finals will have happened. But as we record this, that is still the future. So we don't know. But we've had much of the Commonwealth Games has happened. Women's team competition, we'll start with that. The Australians won team gold in women's team. Really excellent performance. Their first Commonwealth Games team gold since 2010. That was like the Lauren Mitchell, Emily Little team when they won in 2010. But this is their first win since then. And to a large extent, it's like they hit the best, and you don't have to overcomplicate it when analyzing like why did a team win. It's like, well, they only had one fall on beam, and you can drop a fall, so they had the best score, and a lot of it's that. But also, this is really, really well executed gymnastics, both in terms of execution and artistry, which are oftentimes talked about in the same conversation, but aren't necessarily the same thing. I think very much an underrated artistry checklist team is the Australians, this incarnation of the Australian women. And I think the way they performed, beating Canada, beating England, which is, not the same thing as the Great Britain they would compete against at Worlds potentially. But I think the Australians they've built back up this team. They were for a while, we would expect Australia to make the team final, contend for medals. Lauren Mitchell won a lot of individual medals. Then they had a dip. They've made it back to qualify to the Paris Olympics, finished 10th. The year before that, they were 9th, almost made the team final at Worlds. So they're right on the edge. This confirmed to me that the Australian women can walk into Rotterdam Worlds this year with the confidence of expecting to make the team final. That's their ability level. That's what they've shown, how they've shown they can perform. And this team score they got here, we've only seen a couple countries do better than that so far this year. US, China, Japan. But then it's like this Australian performance is probably fourth. And it's not going to stand up. We haven't had European championships. We'll talk about Russia. We'll talk about Italy. But they should have the confidence of considering themselves a top 8 team in the world, which they haven't had the chance to do for a few years. I think what's interesting, I have a lot to say. I was thinking
go on.
I was doing a lot.
No, I agree with what you said because they're a beautiful team to watch. This is the thing. Like they're one of those teams where I'm like, that was gorgeous. Oh, that was gorgeous. So,
and it's that thing of having those years where they were kind of out of it, where their results dipped, it forces you to change the approach. And this Australian team present day has a totally different identity than the ones 15 years ago or 2005 Worlds that they hosted in Melbourne. Like it's just this is completely different. You would say I don't even recognize this country, but what they've had to do is rebuild it for the present day code. This is no longer an Australian team of we're going to bring in some coaches from the United States because they're doing well and they're going to try to turn you into United States too, which didn't go great. Nope. That was part of the dip. This team is not trying to be United States too. They're trying to be their own thing. They've read the artistry checklist. They're adhering to it really well, and it's working out really well for them. And we saw that here with winning the gold.
Totally agree.
Anyway, it's an exciting time for Australian women's gymnastics, and we haven't said that a lot.
It's been a long time.
It's good. It's great. Yes. Canada did very well for silver. I was worried about them at first because they had some falls, but they really settled. They got it together. They had falls on bars in the first rotation. We were kind of like, but then they were like, we're okay. We go to beam and fix things, and which is not typical, but they did. They went to beam, they got it together, they solidified, they were sturdy, they hit. England hung on for bronze. That was a nail biter for a second. So when we were previewing the Commonwealth Games, we talked about Wales because we were like, Ruby Evans is on the Wales team, the Roper sisters are on the Welsh team. This is a really good team. They could challenge, and they did challenge It was close. They were within a point of England. England ultimately was able to pull it out. And by the time they were still behind Wales when Abby Martin went to floor, but it was like Abby Martin is a world bronze medalist on floor. She had to hit her routine, and then they went way ahead of Wales, which they did. It was a great performance from Abby Martin there. So like really valiant effort from Wales, but I think they had to hit a few more beam routines and then they would have done it, but it was really close.
Before we go on to talk about all around and what happened there in the individual events and some of our favorite moments of opportunities for comedy.
Greatness.
I want to give you guys some updates. So this last week, our members got our hot takes on breaking news and discussions on what's going on in the Gymternet. I gave all of my opinions about this nonsense that's happening where people were like, Simone's having her, boobs removed so she can, not her, her breast implants, not her actual boobs. So she can do and then she shows up at this thing in Chicago on this weekend, and clearly that was not the case. So just proving you should listen to all of our hot takes because we're right about everything. Plus, we answered your questions and we hung out for over an hour on behind the scenes. This is the kind of hot takes you get, except for with way less editing of feelings. They're very, very hot takes. So if this sounds like your kind of thing, you should check out gymcastic.com. You'll get all the bonus episode, the live Q&A every Friday, our full archive, all of our games, our score tools that you can use. We have a members only forum, and then we have discounts on live show. Plus, at the U.S. Championships, you will get our live recaps after podium training and after the competitions. And, of course, discount on the live show that we're going to have after the women's final.
Club Gym Nerd also makes a great gift. So, for instance, if you live with someone who keeps talking to you about gymnastics and you would like them to stop and would like them to have some gymnastics friends in their life that aren't you, you can give them the gift of a Club Gym Nerd membership, and then they can talk to us about it and they don't have to bother you about it at all. It's great. So you can visit the Join the Club tab at gymcastic.com. We also have a number of new tools there. One thing I especially want to point out is, so in the Score Explorer that we have now, where you can, go in, scores, teams, who the people are. More of our interviews and routine videos from over the years are connected to the athletes. So if you're like, oh, I want to search Ellie Black, and you can see her updated Commonwealth Games scores. And then you can also link to our interviews with her at Worlds over the years, where you find out why we enjoy talking about Ellie Black so much, because she's such a delight to be around, just like in person. And then sometimes she's like, what's going bad? Things at this federation, and I'm going to talk about those too. And that happens sometimes at Worlds. And it's also great because we love an honest, nice person.
We do love an honest, nice person. Also, merch. Still time to gear up for elite season and championships at our store at gymcastic.com. We have newsletters also at gymcastic.com. And US Championships, our fantasy game, is coming up. So you can play fantasy. It's free to play. You have all these tools to pick who's for sure 100% going to win, because for sure 100% no one on the roster is going to drop out and not be there. That's definitely not going to happen. But if you listen to behind the scenes, you might have an idea of who's not going to compete. Because petitioning to the World Team Camp is very popular, because that's all that matters going to World Championships, not really going to the US Championships. So anywho, and then live show tickets are coming up soon. All at gymcastic.com. Okay. In the all around, we talked about Ellie Black making history like she does.
Ellie Black won gold in the all around. It was a close one. It was a really exciting end of meet situation because it kind of came down to Florida. You had maybe an idea of how we kind of knew who the medalists were going to be, and you kind of had maybe a sense of how they were going to shake out, but it was within tenths. So that was very exciting as Ellie Black ended the competition on floor, needed a good hit to win. And she came up with exactly the good hit she needed to win, just ahead of Breanna Scott of Australia, who dominated the E-score department. Her routines were so good and well executed across the board. Like, her lowest E-score of the competition was a 7.8. And in this day and age, that's a really good E-score, especially if you're on floor. Like, she was getting 8s. She can consistently expect to get 8s in execution, which is like, you are an execution queen if you can hit an 8 in execution. Her beam was far and away the strongest beam, both in terms of difficulty and execution in that final. It was one of those things, like, the vision I had when watching her on beam was like, when there'll be a movie that's like has like an orchestra in it or something, and they'll be auditioning like people, and someone will come in and like play the violin perfectly, and then the conductor will be like, first chair, everyone else pack it in, like, everyone else go home. Like, that's it, first chair, pack it in, everyone else pack it in. We saw Breanna Scott do beam, and it's like, oh, everyone quit. We filled the orchestra. We don't need to hear from the rest of you.
Yeah, I love her beam. It's so beautiful. That's the thing about this team. Beautiful execution. I love watching them.
Lia-Monica Fontaine, of winning bronze on vault at Worlds last year fame, won silver on vault at Worlds last year, won bronze in the all-around here. Very strong performance, kind of hit her routines, did what she could do. The beginning of the team final, she missed on bars in the first rotation, and then since then, it's just been like hit. This is what I have. Her vault is so good. She won the vault title as well. Her Yurchenko double full is very high, very well executed, very comfortable. You're like, oh yeah, some vaults do deserve execution scores on the 9s, and that's one of them.
And that was rare. The execution scores on vault actually were, looking at like prelims, I was like, wow, like everyone got an 8 something. Like, I thought you had to literally fall on your face to get under an 8 or under a 9 on vault, because the execution are so high. But I was like, oh, good. Like, the separation there is, one that stood above the others. But I was kind of surprised in general. But they did reward the most beautiful one, and the whole way too, not like bent arms on vault. She's a great vaulter. And wait, she's just practically a baby too. I mean, she hasn't even earned her longevity wings yet.
I know. We had a mix. We had Ellie Black veterans, Lia-Monica Fontaine, still brand new.
How old was Lia-Monica when Ellie Black competed or won the last time?
I don't know how old she was when she won the last time, but like, so she was born in the fall of 2009. So she was not yet 3 when Ellie Black competed in London. She was
out of diapers. Just out of diapers.
She was 2 when Pink
Ellie
Podium
Black
happened.
Yeah.
This is the thing, Jessica and I have to remind ourselves, like, okay, the people who are competing now do not remember the Rio Olympics because they were too young.
Yes.
And we're like, remember the Rio Olympics? And they're like, no, I don't.
Remember the green floor Olympics? This is how we do it. Pink floor, London. Green floor, Rio. Yellow floor, all of the entire Soviet times. The floor was yellow.
The avocado phone years.
Oh, love it. I'm looking for one of those. If anyone has that, I feel like we both need one in the back of our backdrops. You need one so you can pick it up every time and be like, someone help me. Jessica is having too many feelings right now and I need help. Yeah.
I need the phone that Joaquina picked up and then pretended to yell at someone on and then slammed down in that documentary. That's what
the one that didn't ring, the 80s corporate office looking phone with a million buttons that's all black. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We had a couple other people who were in contention, who were kind of maybe favorites for medals or at least close in the all-around final. Ruby Evans was right there. She was going for it for Wales until she missed on beam. And then I was like, oh, she's immediately like turned to a life of goth. And I would love that as like her next era. That would be great. But she was like, I could legitimately have medaled, and the beam has ruined my life. And the beam needs to go to its bedroom and think about what it's done. After that, Abby Martin had a similar situation with the bars. She was like, well, this is stupid and ruined. Georgia Godwin kind of missed her block on vault. It was weird. And she's, a great gymnast, so she was still able to do a souk full, but she had to kind of tuck it, and she was going to do a 1.5. So that kind of, she was just a little off on that. It was not the score she would have been expecting. That kind of was enough to bring her a little bit back. So she only has 785 Commonwealth Game medals in her career instead of 786.
It was so interesting to hear Georgia Godwin. She was very emotional after the team won their medal. And she, said she was, she cried so much. And she talked about how very, very hard this comeback from her Achilles tear has been. And that, she talked to her team so many times and was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, it just doesn't feel the same. It's like, it reminds you of, we take, and we talked about this recently, like, when someone was talking about how this is the most resilient person ever, and it's like we take for granted that these things are really hard to come back from. Like, if this was the Middle Ages, you wouldn't walk again with an Achilles tear. You'd have a floppy foot. That's what I think about if there was no modern medicine. And even then, like, some people can have a rehab that should be fine and surgery goes well, but like they just don't heal, they heal differently than other people. And it is so depressing and hard to come back from these kind of injuries where you're totally debilitated and it affects everything. So hearing her really open up about how hard it has been and why she had these emotions, she's like, oh my God, I'm back. And honestly, her talking about like, this might be it. Like I made it here, and this is, it didn't, when she gave that interview, it didn't sound like she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for another
LA 28
Ellie Black like time. Yeah. So I really appreciated that she opened up about that and was so honest about how hard it has been. And it's just a reminder that these kind of injuries are difficult and depressing, and they are and it takes a lot to get back to this point, and it's different for everyone. So also, hats off to her for sharing her feelings, because that's what makes sports relatable and athletes relatable, because everyone can relate to like, oh, this sucked, but I persevered, So.
Also, speaking of people who persevered, us watching this 900-hour long all-around final. I know they want to. I know they want to show all of the routines, but at what cost?
Like, there was no gymnasts, and it was still, I was like, Ollie and Blythe, how do they give them B12 shots while they're like, they just pull a pant down and someone comes along and shoots them in the butt and it just goes down. Look, how are they still?
Yeah. I would say a great job to Ollie and Blythe. I think it's harder for the athletes than it is for Ollie and Blythe to get through.
I can only relate to Ollie and Blythe. I can't relate to these athletes.
What's hard?
Talking.
A double layup. But what's really hard? Talking.
What's hard? When the competition is 700 hours longer than your practice. That's what it's hard.
Men's, and then they went into the women's final, and we was like, Ollie's intro was like, and it's gonna be long. Like, we're gonna be here for a long time. But yeah, to not make it about us and talking, I do legitimately feel like the competition started out with such high quality, and the quality of the routines deteriorated as the all-around final went on, and I have decided to attribute that to everyone being so tired and warming up and then cooling down and then warming up and then cooling down and kind of getting exhausted and burnt out of the meet that they were in. And I think the quality of the routines dwindled as the meet progressed, which is kind of not what you want.
Yeah, and it wasn't like
which is how I've learned to make an argument about what I want to have happen, but make it like it sounds like I'm advocating for the athletes, which I am. But also I got a little bored, so I decided to make an argument about it.
And it's not like they had something happen like the men did. Like they stopped the competition when Gabriel was hurt. And he was laying there and they were tending to him, and they brought everybody down off the podium. Like, they stopped it. They didn't have anything like that in the women's, which, stopped the competition.
This Wint has designed. It was just two 9-person rotation groups, so they could alternate routines and you could see everyone, which is great.
Which is awesome.
Fun.
But you need to,
keep it short. Keep it fun.
You need to, the routine ends, the next person mounts. That's what we need to see. And then you replay. I want to talk about Tiana Sumana-Sacra from UCLA, US Gymnast. She did beam. She upgraded. She added a layout, 2-foot layout. fell on that. It was not a great score for her. She got like an 11, but she's, was a U.S. gymnast that made Olympic trials. And now she is competing for Sri Lanka. And so it's not, I feel like this was not up to her elite capacity. She can obviously do more. So I would, this is one competition in the middle of summer. I would wait, give her time to prepare.
And beam is beam.
more.
You get back out there. You see, sometimes beam happens.
But I did love her, Lia.
Obviously, gymnasts have extremely high standards for themselves and their own performances, maybe more than higher standards than anyone else has for their own performance, which brings us to my favorite thing that happened in this entire meet, which was the uneven bars final. Kate McDonald of Australia won gold on bars. After her routine, waiting for the score came up and she was like, what? And then her coach came over and was like, it was beautiful. And she was like, no, it wasn't. That was great.
Shaking her hands, her head furiously.
Like, this is the stupidest score that's ever been. Her coach was like, it was beautiful. And she's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. No, that was awful. I love that so much. Can I just talk about leotards for a second? Your favorite thing. The Welsh should always be able to compete in their Welsh leotards, because dragons are the best thing ever. And if you get to have your flag has a dragon on it and you get to have dragons, you should always have dragons. So I feel like the British leotard needs to make an allowance. There needs to be the Civil Rights of Dragons Act, and you can have a dragon. These Leos were so pretty, especially the green one that who won, Abby, the twin Roper, wore in vault final. So pretty. I loved it. Dragons, you guys.
They were doing, being like, the brain doesn't work. When they were doing their intro poses, I was like, why are the Welsh gymnasts doing like a lion claw? That doesn't seem right. I was like, oh no, they're doing like dragon hands.
Dragon hands.
They were doing dragon hands. I kind of thought they were doing lion claw, and I was like, oh, I need a wing. We need to find a way that we can introduce a wing, and then I'd be like, oh, they're doing Welsh dragon. Yeah, obviously.
It's talons, by the way. They're not claws. Thank you very much. Talons.
Okay.
Like an eagle, right?
I mean, I was like, lions don't have talons. I thought they were doing a lion claw. They were doing, okay, I said dragon claw. Dragon claw was offensive.
Yes. Okay. Especially since I've been watching the new Game of Thrones.
It is okay. I've learned. We educate each other. You learn every day is an educational opportunity. It is disrespectful to say that a dragon has a claw.
You can't House of the Dragon. You can't know the terms for every single fantastical animal, like the unicorn, which is the animal of Scotland. And I'm sure you don't just call.
What are unicorns' pronouns?
It's just a sparkle sound. It's kind of like.
Oh yeah, it's just like.
Yeah,
got it.
That's what happens.
Okay.
Okay. So, vault.
Yes. Talking through vault, Lia-Monica Fontaine won. The vault, I felt like the podium was not controversial. Lia-Monica Fontaine had the best Yurchenko double full, and then Abby Martin had the next best one. Abby Roper also has a Yurchenko double full, won a medal, bronze medal for Wales, and I'm like, attention British team, I know you need a vault sometimes when Becky Downey is on the team so that you can fill out a team score. Consider the Yurchenko double full that Abby Roper did in the vault final, because it was very good. Those three, solid, nailed it, absolutely. The medalists. We also got to see Courtney McGregor make the vault final. Did really well. I mean, she didn't have the difficulty to get up with the people doing Yurchenko double falls. Her first was a 1.5 that she hit solidly. But great to see her there and advance to the vault final. It was touch and go there for a second. She was the last qualifier in for the vault final, but she did make it.
Yeah, there was many a tie broken at this. And yeah, in the qualifying. Also, I just want to it's Dr. Courtney McGregor. Thank you so much. She didn't walk out in her white jacket with her stethoscope. This is for Worlds, maybe. Courtney. Also, that they don't stop the medical school for when you go to the Commonwealth
terrible
Games.
idea.
She's still, I'm like, don't you get an exception for basically being the face of the entire country for these games? Because that's what she is. She's in everything. But I just want to talk about Lia-Monica Fontaine's laying out her Lopez like it's 1992 vault final.
That is a layout credit Lopez.
The arch of mastery. The arch of, I could take a medical school final while I'm up here, while we're talking about medical school. I could watch the Heartstopper movie. I could recite all of the excellence of our former Canadian champions while I'm in this arch position. She could look sideways, wink at the judges, and be like, do you see why you should be giving me credit? And then land. Oh, I love a flare. I love a flare out in a vault. We never get a flare out in a vault anymore. It's like Andrade and Lia-Monica Fontaine. Thank you from our deepest, deepest hearts and souls, and especially all of us that the 1992 Olympics were like our Vatican in a good way without all the stolen gold. I need another word. It's our pantheon.
Yeah. Pantheon. We did a pantheon. We did a whole pantheon. Yeah.
It's our Madonna.
Okay.
But the musician. Anyway, I'll workshop it, you guys.
Okay.
Carry on.
Anything else you want to say? We did vault. We've had the women's bars final. Kate McDonald won. Ellie Black, silver. Emily Roper, Abby's sister, also a Welsh bronze medal. Her handstand positions are excellent, by the way. The highlight of Emily Roper's bars routine is that opening toe full she does on the low bar, and she's like, this is how you're supposed to finish it, by the way. You know why all you getting execution scores that are 7-6? Because it didn't look like this. I better look at mine. It's the good one.
I mean, the Australians have a legacy of great bars.
We're talking about Emily Roper, Wales, but back to Australia.
Oh, sorry, but back to sorry. I got myself distracted. It's the dragons. That's why.
Yeah.
They know it's like the talons they use on bars. But I got myself distracted because I got ahead of myself and wanted to talk about Kate McDonald again, who is hilarious, by the way, and also makes the case for the non-butt scraper Tkachev. With her ginormous Tkachev. You love Gabby Douglas's Tkachev?
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to Kate McDonald's Tkachev, because it's enormous and so fun to watch. And I don't think there's enough of a deduction for a butt scraper Tkachev. It should be downgraded to... I just feel like when a Tkachev that goes 6 feet in the air exists, Tkachevs that scrape the thread on the elastic in your leotard over the high bar, it's not the same skill. You know what I mean? It's a cartwheel and an aerial, essentially. It should be like a B or a C versus a... These are my thoughts.
I'm there with that. I also, a couple other things that happened that I loved. Ruby Pass was back for Australia. On beam, she did her handspring front tuck series, was off, had to wobble, grab the beam, and then for a second, it was like you could see everything that was happening in her head. Because for a second, she considered doing like a low to beam arm, like vamping some low to the beam arm presentation choreography, and then she was kind of like, "Is this dumb?" I'm kind of embarrassed. So then she started laughing in the middle of her wobble and then just stood up and backed up mid laugh to like where she was supposed to end and did her like, I finished this punt front or the front tuck pose and now I'm ready to keep going. But it was great because you saw every moment that happened. That's the ideal. It's like we see on your face exactly what you're thinking, where she's like, I could cover this. Maybe I'll make up some choreography. What am I doing? Oh my God, I'll just stand up. Don't worry about it. Just all right, back. I also love watching the Scottish women. I think they did not have the competition that they wanted in the team. This was like the Scottish women don't always make a team when it's for Great Britain. This was their chance to be on a team. The event was in Glasgow. Of course, you really wanted to like show the best of everything you could possibly do. And I think they felt like, they had a lot of falls in the team competition, didn't live up to that, but they still did an excellent job. And really, Lottie Smith, I hope she feels great about everything because she was my star of the team competition. I loved watching her, and every single thing that happened, you saw manifest on her face. Like when she fell on switch leap on beam and was like, it felt so confused and betrayed by the switch leap that had just happened. She was like, she became Sherlock Holmes, and she was like, there's a mystery to solve, and the mystery is the case of the betrayal of the beam, because my switch leaps are good. I am not supposed to fall on this element. It was great. I loved that.
Her literally pointing at her head like and like scratching it. This is like the scratch head point. Like,
excuse me, the mystery, it must be solved.
All like, and the pull the Lia, like, I am insulted. What the hell?
Yeah,
it was just excellent.
That was awesome.
Don't stuff your feelings if you fall. Show them.
No, don't.
Show them to the world. This is very important. In the men's competition, a huge win on the men's side.
Couple huge wins, because we had Canada winning the men's team. This is coming off the Pan American Championship. Like Canada, it is like the Canadian men's summer is happening.
Yes.
I do have a question. Like, have I been Cara acring Felix Dulce this whole time and didn't know?
I know, that's what I was thinking, because Kyle Schufeld said it this new way too, and I feel like we should be pronouncing it as the Italians would intend. Dulce.
That's what I thought. I thought we were chitting, but apparently not. And now I feel embarrassed because it's been like kind of too many years for to be saying Dulce if that's not right. I didn't know it was like a Felix Dulce Kaler, like Wheel of Fortune before and after clue.
I know. Now I wonder if that was Dulce Kaler's real name when they came to the United States, and then they just added a Y to anglify it. Now I'm worried for the ancestors of our beloved Felix as well. Did he feel the need to
he was so Canada won team gold, but then he was so upset at how everyone's been pronouncing his name wrong all of these years that he got a 9 on pommel horse in the all-around final and still somehow got silver,
because that's how good he is.
He was very much, I think, the favorite to win all-around gold, but then he got a 9 on pommel horse and it was like, oh, that's over now, but he still almost won and got silver. But Scotland had the triumphant moment of the Scotland hosted Commonwealth Games when Reuben Ward was like, you know what helps? Being really good at pommel horse. And I'm really good at pommel horse. And so that I'm also going to win all around gold. That was very fun.
My favorite thing about the Commonwealth Games is, I make a lot of jokes about the British Empire and the whole, and how it's nuts. Correct. And like, but I love that this gives the athletes who generally don't have, like, you have Worlds and an Olympics, and then maybe you have your Continental Games, which is a big games with a bunch of different sports. But these gymnasts are amazing, and they get a time to shine and get a lot of attention and get, a great city like Glasgow hosting gymnastics and the other sports but it's essential, like, important part of this argument that it is the other sports too, because it is the other sports too. That's the thing. So specific attention. And so you get like your country's like Olympic committee, for example. It's one of those things where you have like a house for your country, and you have all of those other athletes that you can meet, and you get the experience of being part of something bigger than just your gymnastics world. And I love that for the athletes. And I also just love that Scotland got a home win in men's gymnastics in Glasgow. It's amazing. I also feel like they had the dragon from House of the Dragons flying around like an actual dragon. All right, it's not a real living dragon, but you can't tell from far away. It looks like a real living dragon from the TV show flying around the arena for the opening ceremonies. And they had Jamie from Outlander as a host, and so he would surprise many Scottish teams and walk in, and women would faint. And he's just fantastic. What a great ambassador. This is just the best thing ever. But I really wish that they have, like, when Reuben won, a unicorn should have ridden in and he picked him up, and like they should have done a lap around the arena. Can we make that happen? Or at least, they have their little anime furry, what are those called? Their mascot.
What you're talking about?
It's what they're dressed up in a real, yes. So I wish
that's how we got to mascot. Okay.
I wish their mascot unicorn had come in and they can just like chasse around the arena holding hands. Like as something or bagpipes played. I just want an extra special Scottish thing to happen for him. You get handed a haggis. You put a
Yay.
you get to run outside and put a traffic cone on top of a statue, something like that.
Yeah.
That's the most quintessentially Scottish. People think that it's kilts, but it's not. It's actually traffic cones to be like, they should have just handed it to the king while he was there. Put this on your head, dude. Love it. So, next week we can talk about who won floor and beam.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But congratulations to everybody. And I've heard really great things about the games in Glasgow. And obviously, who doesn't love Scotland? We've talked about it a lot. We would like to live there. Please accept us as citizens. We're ready. And now you have a champion of the gymnastics. So it's a perfect time to have your own podcast there. Next up, we have a Rage-O-Meter.
Oh, we haven't had one of these in a while.
I know. It's from gold level Club Gym Nerd member, Atan, who says, "This is long, so you should probably read it." Atan. Did I say Atan? Atan. I even wrote it out phonetically, so I would say it right. Atan, I'm sorry. That rhymes with John. Tan. Atan. Will you read this one because it's long and I don't want to mess it up?
Okay. I cringe every time gymnastics commentators talk about Chinese gymnasts during their bars or beam routines like they are all the same and China produces them in a factory or a cloning vat. China has a long history of great gymnasts on these events, but each one of those gymnasts is a person, not an entire country. I don't think we hear gymnasts from any other country referred to so homogenously.
That's right. Thank you, Atan. If you want a rage or joy-o-meter, if you just want us to joy out about someone, then we can do that. You can join at Club Gym Nerd Gold level at gymcastic.com. Next up, the Gymternet news. We shall begin by getting the dumpster fire news out of the way. The Romanians, my God.
Yeah.
Honestly, that should be a commission. Just Romanian drama. We could fill hours about this. It's insane this much can come out of one country. But you know what? Romania has a free press. This is why we get this much out of this country. If they didn't, like other places have the same, but we never hear about it because there's no free press. So shout out to all the journalists in Romania. But let's start first with trigger warning. Former Florida gymnastics coach, content creator, pleads guilty to producing and selling CSAM. CSAM is child exploitive images, formerly known as child pornography. Teresa Mitchell, 44, conspired with Christopher Buckeridge to produce and sell images and videos showing minor children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. She sold and distributed the materials on social media platforms, messaging apps, and subscription-based websites, and received hundreds and thousands of dollars from the sales, the documents charging her say. What I want to say about this story is I talk about flagging, and flagging is something that these criminals do to show that they have more to sell and trade. So this is something that Nasser did. This is something that what's the other guy that killed himself who was the world champion? Sharp. Marvin Sharp did. It's one of the things that why I contacted the FIG and we talked to Getty at the World Championships when we got those photos taken down. It might not look like it is not explicitly on the face of it pornography, but it is something that is sexualizing something that shouldn't be, or zoomed in on parts that shouldn't be. And it then shows, it is flagging to other criminals that, hey, contact me because I have this to sell you or to trade. And if this is why it's it's just something to keep an eye on, especially during these big competitions. And during this competition, we had received several complaints from people who talked about how inappropriate the replays were on several of the athletes at Commonwealth Games, that they were zoomed in on their, hip area, either on, a fall or resetting on bars. And this is another thing that should not happen and people should be very aware of behind the camera. And there is a new set of criteria for broadcasters that explicitly talks about how to change this and not showing those kind of things. So hopefully there will be more changes to this. So now we have the Romanian drama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first of all, number one is, you remember how the Romanian Federation was like, okay, we have all this evidence of Camila Voinea abusing her daughter, so we're going to stop her from coaching. And then she appealed that. Well, she won the appeal, and the federation, Romanian Federation, lost. So she gained her right back to coach, which to me is terrifying, because this sends a message to the Romanian gymnasts, who are now all going to the United States for college, and I'm sure plan on never going back, because it just shows there's no point in coming forward. There's no point in speaking up. No one's going to listen to you. And the tale goes on, as tale as old as time in Romania. They had a brief period of, 2 years where this didn't happen, and now it's back to this again. The other thing that happened, which is more of sending a message to the survivors of this abuse that there's no hope for them, is that do you remember the former Romanian Gymnastics Federation safeguarding officer who came forward, Steliana Curelia? She was a whistleblower, basically. She says she was removed from her position after speaking publicly about documented abuse in Romanian gymnastics. So this is from Golazo.ro, who are doing a great job. The journalists there are on this. So she says that the federation stopped assigning safeguarding officers to national competitions this year, despite FIG regulations requiring their presence. She says repeated emails proposing reforms and raising concerns went unanswered. Quote, "It was like talking to a wall." Lia also confirmed that she reported the Camila Voinea case to the Gymnastics Ethics Foundation. That's at the FIG. That's at World Gymnastics. According to her, she was told about a month ago that the investigation remains ongoing, and she believes the FIG may also have contacted the Romanian Federation regarding the matter. Do you think we will ever see... I mean, this has happened. It has happened where the World Gymnastics Ethics Foundation has suspended a coach when the federation hasn't necessarily done anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is a case where you have an athlete who is coached by her mom, and the athlete is a potential Olympic medalist level, world medalist level gymnast?
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter was involved in the bronze medal scandal at the Olympics in Paris. Do you think we'll see a situation where the Ethics Foundation would be like, no, you can't coach?
I have no idea. I have no standard to go on.
Yeah. I hope we see a situation where they're like, you threaten to hit. If it's not emotional abuse, if it's you raise a hand and threaten to hit, a kid, and they jerk themselves away like they are used to this, that is the minimum grounds, because there's a video of that happening with Voinea doing that to her daughter, that's the minimum standard for being suspended by the Gymnastics Ethics Foundation. And I don't know what's taking so long, other than they hired someone new in the last 6 months to make a decision. Other dumpster fire news, you guys.
Yeah, okay.
Our beloved, our man of the pajama bathing suits with his dog's face all over them brand, our beloved Italian, who is famous in Italy for a long time because he was on that MTV series about the gymnasts back in the day, our
Is this
favorite
you trying to get
Italian.
me to spell his name, or is this
No,
an intro? Okay.
I'm introing him.
Okay. Well, it was
Spencer.
unclear. I was wondering if maybe you were using enough descriptive words that I was going to tell you what name you were trying to think of.
I know normally that is the case.
Yeah.
But the man with unlucky tattooed across his neck is a world champion on floor who really should have the turned into a flower or something at this point. It's a loss for zesty men's floor.
Just to clarify, Nicola Bartolini is retiring, not dead.
Yeah, he's retiring.
We're talking about it like it's Congratulations on an amazing career, Nicola Bartolini. Best of luck in retirement.
I could only be more upset if Bart Durlo of the Netherlands retired. Like, just the quirky.
I feel like it'll never be permanent.
I don't think you ever have to in the Netherlands, because I think once you make the Olympic level, they just pay. You've been on a world team. Oh, you're paid forever, which I agree with. I should be like, yeah, you should get like 20 years because it took that long to get there. Bartolini has retired, you guys, as Spencer said, but I'm still gonna need to work through my feelings. He just a great interview, a great personality, a character of gymnastics.
The way floor is meant to be performed. The way men's floor is meant to be done.
Exactly. I'm very sad. So in not surprising to anyone news, Spencer, World Gymnastics has said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and keep Russia. They can compete. It's fine. Even though the IOC
that is the direction everything has gone.
Not everything.
Like IOC. Almost.
But the IOC said we're going to let them compete, but it's up to every federation to make their own decisions. And some federations have decided not to let them compete. So I'm just saying, I'm not surprised.
When have we seen the? Yeah, I mean,
the FIG.
It was the IOC said what they wanted everyone to do.
Yeah, the FIG. It was shocking that they suspended Russia. But they only suspended Russia, while they had to, and everybody competed anyway as an independent athlete. But, also, we just got the confirmation we needed about our live show in Phoenix. So after the show is over, tickets will be on sale. So it'll be done. It'll be at the Marriott across the street from the venue, 6:00 after women's final on Sunday in Phoenix at National Championships. So very excited. Spencer will be there, and you never know who will drop by at a GymCastic live show, because that brings me to the Mag 7, the Magnificent Seven, will be honored at the U.S. Championships. This is the 1996 first American U.S., I should say, because obviously the Brazilians are also Americans, the Canadians are Americans. The United States women's 1996 Olympic team will be honored in Phoenix 30 years after their Atlanta performance. So, very excited.
Important anniversary.
Yes, it is, because so many little gymnastics hearts and stars were born watching them. Pew, pew. Yeah. That's what I imagine. Your eyes just go, I love that.
That's what happened. Yeah.
I think we should all throw ourselves on the floor and throw a fit in honor of that. We need one move from everyone. Throw yourself on the floor.
Are they having everyone recreate their best moments?
I mean, I feel like everyone should have a pose.
Is it when they made like Shannon's, when they made her do the Macarena during the gala?
Oh, poor Shannon.
Do that again.
That wasn't.
They really do. If they want to recreate Carrie's vault appropriately, they do need to invite Nellie Kim to be in the background rolling her eyes and being like, what is taking so long? Because that's a really important, I feel like an underrated part of Carrie's vault is how mad Nellie Kim was about everything.
That is true. It is one of the best parts. Maybe this is the contest that we should have. Your favorite Mag 7 in their honor at our live show contest. Just do one of their moves and recognizable so people know. But someone needs to throw yourself on the floor and throw a Mochiano fit, because that's adorable.
You can just do that at any time. It doesn't need to be a contest.
I know. I do it around. I would say do it around Phoenix in like famous spots, but I don't want anyone to burn themselves. So do it indoors. This is important. Don't touch the asphalt, you guys. You will burn yourself.
I mean, I'm sure in Arena they'll have some sort of poster about the Mag 7 and what they're doing. So people need to go by the poster and do various recreations.
Yes. Oh, this is an excellent idea, because we will have awards for you at the live show. We always have giveaways. We always have awards. So I'm very excited. Yay. Also, thank you to our hero, Drew, who helped us at the last minute when our venue fell through, get us this new venue. Okay. We have a mini commission coming up. So this is from world champion level Club Gym Nerd member Megan, who says,
I'm going to go with Megan.
Megan with the EA and switchy?
I think default to Megan.
Okay. How do you know it's Megan? Isn't it when the E is before the A?
That's not a name. It's not a real name.
People do say Megan.
I know.
What if her name's Megan? Now you've offended her.
I can live with that.
Megan.
I'm sure we have Megan listeners who I've just offended, and join the club.
This is just now you feel like those dragons who basically were called hoof owners. Hoof.
Well,
yeah,
you just pronounced it hoof. So
hoofs.
In the same boat here.
Okay. The brief from Megan.
The brief is, since we are transitioning from college season to elite season, at least at the time I'm submitting this, I thought it would be fun to match current and recent elites from other countries with NCAA D1 gymnastics programs based on both the gymnast gymnastic style and personality. This is a great idea.
I love this.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that gym nerds do anyway.
Yeah.
Just in general as a national pastime. So I think this is great. I'm very excited about this.
This is the game I play every time we go to World Championships, and then we go into Mix Zone, and I'm like, so have you thought about doing gymnastics in the United States? Because we'd like to watch you. They're like, no, I want to keep doing elite and I'm like, but we'd like to watch you compete 14 times a year. That's our dream. So, okay, starting with the most important.
Okay.
We're pretending everybody wants to go to college in the United States.
This is eligible. We're not doing any NCAA rules here. This is a fun
This
game.
is our fantasy world.
Close those emails. We know.
Okay, Rebecca Andrade.
Whoa. Okay. This is kind of hard.
Okay, so
walk me through what you're thinking.
So the first thing I thought is like, well, where are the most Brazilians? Because they will sell out. Where if she goes to a place with a big Brazilian population, like all the Brazilians will come anyway, but like the Bay Area has a lot, Massachusetts has a lot of Brazilians, Hawaii, Florida. They don't have a team in Hawaii, but maybe they'd start one just for Rebecca Andrade.
Oh, that would be good. That's my answer.
Florida wouldn't get any gymnasts anymore. It would be all Hawaii. That's what I think.
Yeah, because there are no Brazilians in Florida.
They do, but I'm saying like Florida, Hawaii, it's always Hawaii, right? If you love like beach and humidity and tropical, so Stanford would be my choice.
Okay. Yeah.
For her. It would elevate the Stanford program even more. Tabby's fun.
Stanford really needs to be elevated. No one's ever heard of Stanford. So they really need to put they finally need someone to put Stanford University on the map. Right.
All those, founders and tech bros and women they haven't done Google. No one's ever heard of them. We need Rebecca Andrade
in our fantasy. Yeah.
Right.
I'd like that.
Yeah. Also, the Andrade Ana Barbosu crossover is what I need to happen. But then I was like, okay, well, what's the best opportunity for media for her? UCLA.
I don't know here's why I don't see that. Because I feel like there would be too much pressure on her to do floor. And I don't want that pressure on her. It would all be like, when you got to do a floor routine, you got to do a UCLA floor routine, you got to go viral. Like, I don't want that pressure for her, because then I feel like she would feel the peer pressure of wanting to make everyone happy and then do a floor, even though it wasn't like maybe the best for her physically. I feel like we need to see Rebecca Andrade at a place where, okay, weirdly, because she is like a great champion who has won everything in the world and like wins all the time, everything. I feel like not necessarily an environment where it's like, we got to win. Like, I wouldn't see her at like we got to win. Like, it has to be kind of more chill, more like, we're so happy you're here. Let's have fun. Let's do the most difficulty you want to do, even if it's not score smart kind of thing. Like, do your chung and vault if you want to, even though maybe you could probably score better with like an easier vault. How does Rebecca Andrade feel about cold weather?
Well, that's what I was thinking too.
Because I'm like, Alaska. University of Alaska, I mean, would be perfect.
And it's beautiful. All you have to worry about there is the moose. Otherwise, no problems.
I'm ready to have Rebecca Andrade go to Alaska. Or like, I could see a Michigan State for Rebecca Andrade. I would go there. I would go with that direction. The transitions changes at Michigan State.
I know, that's the thing. Is Michigan State going to go down now and it's all going to be Nebraska?
Well, who can say? That's TBD.
I know that we're going to find out.
We need a ruling on how Rebecca Andrade feels about cold weather before I can really answer this question.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to diminish her light. Like, it can't dim her bulb. And sometimes if you're not happy about cold weather, it dims your bulb.
Yes. And then if she needs warm weather, like, and warm water, that's the other thing. It's not going to be UCLA either, because the water here is cold and brown. So Florida, I mean, they're an hour and a half away from the beach, though. That's the thing. Is there an actual beach team? Not a body, not a lake. I mean, Seattle, I guess, but it's also cold.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, it's a beach. There's sand. Anywho,
that doesn't count. That's like when the British Isles try to say they have beaches, and I'm like, those aren't beaches.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but that's not a beach.
It's rocks. Rocks don't count as a beach. But then we have to count out Maine too. Anyway, I'm just saying we have beautiful places that are.
It's really, I'm crossing a lot off the list. We need to circle back to this on a behind the scenes, because I don't feel like the answer has been fully established, but we have a lot more elites.
Yeah. And we have to have a gay friendly state for her too. We can't be sending her to Texas or Florida.
You need people who are actually going to appreciate her greatness.
Right.
And it's not the heterosexuals.
I mean, for her. Yeah. So she and her girlfriend. Right. Her girlfriend needs to come too. So she's very happy, or however she identifies her love interest. Okay, this one's hard. Kaylee and Amore, where do you put the French?
Ooh. Well, I mean, this is like Cecile has the inside track,
right? But
I feel like Kaylia is one who would fare very contrasting to Andrade. I think Namor would fare very well at like, this is the school where we win.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
I'm here to win and we win and we're here to do winning. Like, I think that's a better fit for her. So I'm thinking like the SEC.
Yeah.
In general, I think would be good.
I think Oklahoma is the no-brainer for her.
Yeah, Oklahoma's a solid choice.
Yeah. She wants to win and be totally dialed in. And I hate that I say things like dialed in now. But like she wants to focus. She wants to focus.
Well, I can see Florida for Kaylia.
The thing is, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos did not care for the United States very much, but she did say the meat was good. She was in Texas. That's not the United States. We're like more like the Soviet Union.
You're kind of putting words in her mouth that she didn't care for the United States.
Well, like she was like, it's fine. She wasn't upset about it, but she
had a normal opinion about it.
Yes, or very reasonable.
She had a correct opinion.
But she did say the meat is good. So Oklahoma is basically Texas North. So I'm sure they have.
Well, are we talking about Melanie or are we talking about Kaylia?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I just want her to have what other French island, Martinique. Kaylia is not from Martinique, but Melanie is. But anyway, okay, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, that Cecile told us, she's been like, hey, come to Georgia.
Yeah,
even if
Cecile would be, Georgia would have very much the inside track for Melanie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Melanie needs like the island feel. She needs that world. So I think yeah.
So once again, the University of Hawaii Gymnastics. We've created a University of Hawaii Gymnastics team, and we've brought all the international elites there. Jessica and I are also going to move there, and we are going to create a Hawaiian gymnastics paradise, and it's going to be very fun.
It's going to be amazing. And then we're going to live half the time in Hawaii and half the time in Scotland. The perfect weather for both. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Melanie, yeah, I mean, it's Georgia. There's no other question because of Cecile. But if the Landys weren't there, where would you send her? I'd send her to the show. It would be UCLA.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Keisha Rini, Japan. Kishi Rina, sorry. I like to add all the I's. No. It's a diminutive as in like smoochy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I need somewhere that's really gonna like cultivate her floor, and that her floor is really gonna be useful, but also like bring a little like she has a very like correctly defined elite floor routine, but I think there's room for creativity that the current elite code does not encourage in terms of skill selection. And that's why I'm going to go for like a Clemson. For Rena.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Crandall era Clemson, I think, and they could use her floor, and she would really be a floor star there. And they would come up with like some like unusual skills from the code that you like haven't heard of and haven't seen since the 80s, and they're like, let's try that on you. I think I would go with that.
So because the women in Japan are not worshipped the way the women's gymnastics team is not worshipped the way the men are, and I want her to have that experience. I want her to go somewhere where the gymnastics is a religion with an insane legacy, and people recognize her everywhere she goes. So I want her to go to Alabama. She will have the Justin Spring fun factor. So that'll be there for her. And everywhere she goes, people will like talk to her and be happy she's there and ask her about herself and have like the whole Southern, like, I'm not just asking, I want to have an actual conversation with you thing. So I like Alabama for her.
Okay.
Now, the most important gymnast of all, obviously, Manila Esposito, Clemson. End of story. That's where she's going.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Tell me.
Because, first of all, they'll be able to pay her whatever. Clemson.
Yeah.
And she needs to be somewhere that will appreciate and cultivate her beautifulness and not try to change her in any way because she's already perfect. And so Clemson, Liz and Justin, they will do that. And
I'm gonna say I want a Manila KJ collab.
Oh,
like that's where I would go with an Oklahoma. I would go with Oklahoma because I want a Manila KJ. I think it would work well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have it. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree.
I just feel like her floor will be too weird if KJ does all of her like, I love Oklahoma choreography because it has a point of view. It is coquettish, goofy. Yes. We've talked many times about, it's a can dancer in a cowboy bar, running the show. That's what's happening. Secretly stealing all the money from the men who think that they're taking advantage of the women performers, but actually the women are in charge of running the show. This is how I see the whole situation. But Manila, so that's why I don't, but I feel like, Clemson would. Yeah, Liz and Justin would embrace her style.
Yeah.
And then, she'd have her own apartment and her own car and like the best training facility ever. Because the Italian training facilities are like, there's one that's like kind of amazing, but sometimes, they're still in little places like the women's team in Japan when you see they train in like on a tumbling strip, All right, Abby Martin. I changed my answer for this.
Okay, what's your answer?
Abby Martin, England. She is Georgia because she needs Laurent to coach her on bars because that's the only thing that's missing. She
Whoa.
needs
Yeah.
like the technique dial in, and like a little step back. And I think they would be amazing with her bars and some of her technique that just needs adjusting, like her vault, getting that block and getting those straight arms. Like I think she would be a next level gymnast going to Florida.
I thought you said Georgia.
Sorry, Georgia. I wrote down Florida, but I changed my mind.
You've been spending too much time together because I feel like I was just about to say, what about Florida? But I hadn't said that out loud. And then you were like, at Florida. And I feel like something's wrong.
I mean, this is the thing, like the obvious. I know we do spend too much time together. Spencer, first of all,
oh my God.
Can you remember the time that you came and like lived with us for a week and we covered the Doha World?
Yes, I do.
Because we didn't travel. Like, yeah, and actually it was fine, and it was actually really nice.
I didn't bite.
It turns out we actually like each other, but also. The thing about Abby Martin is I'm like, obviously it'd be Florida because English people love Florida. It's like the Spain of the United States. Like if you want to find a sunburnt English person, you go to Florida. They love it. I don't know why the whole team isn't English people, honestly. So the obvious choice is Florida. And they have lots of experience taking gymnasts to world championships, and they have a brevet, head coach. So
yeah.
Flavia Saraiva. This was easy for me.
Me too. UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA would be fine.
That's not where that wasn't your answer? I mean, when you said Flavia Saraiva, this is easy for me. I was like, you know what? I would bet $8 billion that Jessica's going to say UCLA right now. And shockingly, I actually agree with her because performance, because whatever, UCLA. And that's not what you're saying?
No, because the first thing I thought was like, well, it's obvious the show. If someone is the show, you send them to UCLA. And so many of these gymnasts are, but I'm trying to pick other ones. I mean, Flavia has to go to a party school where she doesn't have to worry about anything but partying. So she has to go to LSU or ASU where she can go to a party every day of the week where the religion is partying. And that's ASU or LSU.
Yeah. I mean, okay. But I feel like if any present international elite who is not doing college gymnastics is a fit for UCLA, I think it's Flavia.
It is. Yeah, she totally is. I'm just trying not to say Florida because the next person is Thora.
Because you had to be worried that you were going to say UCLA for every single person that you like.
I know,
and you're like, I just want her to be the closest to me. I want her to be the closest to me.
What's an hour away?
Well, so I can drive to see her.
Exactly.
That's what I want.
So Thora Thorsdotter.
Oh well, okay. Can you pick UCLA again?
I know that's the thing. I'm trying not to pick the show every time. So
but like Thora, the show. But also, do we need her in I need her to become best friends with Laurie Hernandez? Does this make sense, right?
Yeah.
I need Thora and Laurie Hernandez to be best friends, so they need to live near each other.
Right. So if you want to do, and also she is a trained theater school kid,
right? So
who can sing and dance and act and all the things. So she needs to be near Broadway, and the only school near Broadway is LIU. So she has to live on Long Island, and then do gymnastics. She can live in Manhattan or Brooklyn or wherever Laurie lives.
Yeah.
And or whatever the cool hip neighborhood with all the theater kids is, and then go to school. She'll just show up for I'll compete for the team at LIU.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the way to do it. Because otherwise we need a London theater school. It's New York, London, or LA if she wants to do TV. But now all the things are moving to, they're being filmed in Ireland.
The offices are still here.
The offices. That's right. Okay. Shugihara.
Oh,
Aiko.
Yeah. Okay. What are we thinking?
So I was thinking for her, Minnesota, because beam brilliance.
Yeah. I can see it. Is Minnesota going to give her the freedom to really like express her fashion self on floor?
This is
Like,
going to be
what school is going to be like, you know what? Aiko designed a leotard and it's crazy and we love it. And now the whole team's going to wear it. And
God.
like, we're all on board. Because I think that's item one importance. What team is like, oh yeah, she designed it. We're all on board.
It would be like Auburn and Kentucky, but I don't want to send her to either of those.
Okay.
I mean, Auburn has the ugliest Leo ever of all time. The
Leo.
fringe.
You're the
Yeah.
famous, yeah.
So horrific. And I think she might totally go for that. So, yeah, but I don't want to. But Minnesota, I think, like the beam brilliance. And you never know that they might go for one of hers. They love a backless Leo in Minnesota. It's not cold enough. They're like, here, only wear half a leotard on the front. Yeah.
Okay, revisiting. I'm putting a pin in Andrade. I'm putting a pin in Sugihara because I'm not sure how I feel yet.
Okay, Ellie.
And that means we would like your feedback. We would like listener feedback on what we've obviously forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like Ellie Black, okay. First of all,
that is challenging because she would have a great time everywhere.
Right. And everywhere would be lucky to have her.
Everywhere, the right fit is everywhere.
Now, I feel like she enjoys the nature of Nova Scotia. So then I'm like, well, then Seattle. Like UW is the team for her because it's beautiful, gorgeous. You see water from everywhere. It's an incredible environment. But then I also want her to go to George Washington so she can fix the U.S. government. Because
good. Yeah.
Get citizenship and run for Congress immediately. Yes. Please take over. Canadian takeover of the American government is what I actually want for her. But then I also think, like, where will she be with people of her essence and caliber? And then I think Arkansas. Okay, lousy with Olympic champions there. You know, she'll be
She's like, here I'm with my peers.
Right. Jordan will be around because Chris Brooks is coaching, also an Olympian, and then Kyla Ross is there, Olympic gold medalist. So like these are her people. Yeah. But then
see that
Oregon State
just popping down to Michigan.
Oh yeah.
I could like a Michigan for Ellie Black. I could like a present day Alabama with their like jock vibes.
Yes. Oh, I think she would really like the jock vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see her being like, yes, Gabby Gladio and we're gonna nail this competition. Yeah. And Chloe LaCourcier. Well, Gabby Gladio's graduate. Well, this is a fantasy world, doesn't matter.
I also thought like about the nature part. I'm like Oregon State because it's very like lots of trees and it's also only an hour and a half from the beach or an hour from the beach. It is sand, okay, and it's cold and there's sharks, but it's gorgeous. It's beautiful like Nova Scotia. So I thought that would be nice first. The trees. It's so and rainy. It's very Nova Scotia weather. But also, I don't know if my biggest thing is like, can you train in a gym that's painted gray? This is my thing with Oregon State. I could not. I would go to Oregon State and be like, absolutely not. I will pay myself. I will repaint the walls myself.
I would be like, wherever I am, let's repaint it to make it gray so that I feel safe.
Oh, that is a important perspective. Thank you for sharing.
I totally hear you right now. I hear what you're contributing to the group.
I mean, they use blue in hospitals for a reason. It's supposed to be calming color.
Oh, that fixed it. That made them calm. Now, no problems.
Now it's a triggering color for everyone that's ever been in the hospital. Thanks a lot. Okay. Georgia Godwin.
Oh, yeah. Well, now I've got Michigan in mind, and I'm like, yeah, Michigan.
Yeah. I think she would be really good at Michigan. I kind of want Texas State for her because I want her to be I want Sarah of the Shire to their new head coach, whose real last name is Brown now, but we will always know her as Sarah of the Shire. And she's so nice. And I want her to have like an absolute killer elite star to start with. And so I was like, maybe Georgia Godwin.
Yeah, okay.
Would be the person for her. But I'm also like, who's great at rehabbing elites that are like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. My foot's not hanging on. And then I'm like, oh, Oklahoma is the place.
Yeah.
We send you for when you have,
managing that when you have Olivia Troutman leg and you can only compete at nationals and win.
Yes. Also, maybe Alaska because they have the same colors as Australia.
Yeah.
Notice that? They are.
I have.
Paulina Schaefer-Betts, who competed at German championships and looked freaking amazing and insane and better than ever. Every year older, she is a better gymnast.
Yeah. Okay, I definitely want her. Like, the head coach has to be a brevet judge.
Yes.
Item 1. That is a necessity. So I'm like, okay, it has to be Tabitha, or it has to be Jenny Rowland, or it has to be Liz Crandall. Or who else do we have? Who is Sarah of the Shire is right?
Yeah.
No,
Sarah of the
I make that up.
I think she
is. Yeah. What?
Or was at some point?
Huh? Ashley Priest
in Alabama. I feel like she needs to be on a team where she can just be herself and be left alone and not have to do this rah team stuff. And she can do the Schaefer because they're like, we are as interested in selling tickets as we are in winning. So you just be yourself and we will fit things around you so you can be yourself. And UCLA will do that. What other team would do that? Was like,
unless there's too much, like, you need to be a really good teammate right now.
All right, which is nonsense. Like, we're not going to get. She's 30. You're not. Leave her alone. No, there's one way to do things. They're going to do it that way, and you're not going to convince them to do this any of this nonsense. It's the only right way. End of story. So you have to just be like, she's on the team, and she's going to do her thing.
Yeah, she has to go someplace where the practice starts on time.
Right. Although, I don't know if you've heard, but the trains are late all the time in Germany now because they're not federally run. They have a private company bought them out. It's all ruined.
This is your whole identity.
Germany has been ruined.
The train runs on time.
I know. It's men pee standing up now there. It's all just, it's terrible. So, it's not like the good old days where all the men peed sitting down. Which is the way men should be.
You need to clarify when you say, like, Germany and the good old days. There have been some bad old days.
Like the 90s.
Like a lot of them.
There was a very, the days, the 90s, the reunification years. These were the
It's mostly been bad.
It's been a lot of bad. The 20-year period from the reunification to the selling everything into private equity time. That's what we're talking about.
Got it.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying. Although she is from East Germany, which still is waiting for the good old days to happen. So not those good old days. I mean the 90s to get there. Except in Berlin. Anyway,
Megan, thank you very much for commission. We love it.
This was excellent, and we
will definitely revisit this once we get feedback about what we forgot and who we offended the most. And it might be people named Megan.
Club Gymnast members like Megan help us pay our bills, and in return they get thank you goodies like a discount on the live show coming up at US Championships, where you can watch the meet and then go right across the street and debrief everything with us. When Spencer will be there, and I'll be like, obviously I'd put so-and-so on the world team on beam, and Spencer will be like, she had the lowest score, and I'll be like, but art. So you can see the details at gymcastic.com under the join the club tab, and if you want to do a mini commission like this too, then join at the world champion level and you can get one of these. And until behind the scenes, which happens every Friday at noon Pacific, where it's a live Q&A, and you can write in with questions or you can ask us live. All the instructions are in the show notes of the behind the scenes episodes. Until then, remember to take off on gay, split on rights. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on Friday.